Hello Aquarius, this is Victoria and I'm here with your May Tarot forecast. As always, we'll be looking at your love life, your career and workspace, and we'll get you some guidance from the universe on how to best utilize the energy of the month of May. At the end, I'll post some messages from your person of interest to yourself. I've got the Celtic deck for that today. Yes, I got all of my decks back now, so it's so great to be able to experience the artwork of all these cards now. And of course, we will start with an oracle message, and today I've got the Cosmic Dancer Oracle for you. So let's get started. If you're new to the channel, please take a look at the description box for more information on my content and services. Please subscribe so you don't miss notifications about new videos that are coming out. And of course, to everyone, if you enjoy what I'm doing, if you'd like me to continue publish these videos for free, please like the video, comment, share, let me know you're out there and you're watching. These videos are for Sun, Moon, and Rising Aquarius. So if you're watching this for a Sun sign, please check out videos for your other placements as well. All right. So for you Aquarius, the message is surrender and trust. Yeah, the good old surrender and trust. I find when I'm doing personal readings, sorry about that guys, when I'm doing personal readings, I find that this notion of surrendering and trusting is one of the most difficult concepts for people to master, especially if we're talking about something that they've been wanting, that they have set their eyes on, and this is like part of their vision, their dream, everything. And it's like, well, you just need to surrender and trust. People don't get it. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? It doesn't mean don't do anything, by the way. Especially for Aquarius who likes to go out there and create change and make an impact. Don't get discouraged, right? Continue doing what you're doing. This is just saying, if you don't necessarily see the result that you want to see in the moment right away, just give it some time. Just have faith that it's coming, that the universe, the divine are doing their magic, right? You just put one foot in front of the other and continue doing what you're doing and taking aligned action. If anything, maybe it is about adjusting what you're doing, but the action should be aligned with the vision, with the purpose. All right. The surrendering is more about expectations of when, what, how, especially when and how, I would say. For the main reading today, I'm using the Good Tarot deck. So for your personal space and love life, Aquarius, we've got 9 of Water. That's a good start. 3 of Fire. That vision and intention setting. And the Magician. This is Gemini energy. You could be dealing with a Gemini. Then for your career space, you have the Moon. We have an important full moon coming up on the 30th of May. It's going to be a blue moon. But also this is Piscean energy, so you could be dealing with a Pisces. You have Queen of Air, could be dealing with another Earth sign. Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. And Queen of Fire, could be dealing with a fire sign. Aries, Leo, Sag. Wow, beautiful. And then finally, advice from the universe. Page of Air. 6 of Air. And Page of Fire. So you're learning new things. Yeah, I mean, sometimes, especially if 6 of Fire at the bottom of the deck, sometimes it's hard to get that fresh perspective or be open to the fact that there's so much more to learn and explore in the area where maybe you thought you were subject matter expert, right? There are some areas of knowledge of life where it's more sort of plausible and believable, and we take it on. Like, let's say, as a person who's built a career in technology, I would say anybody and everybody who is, tightly connected to it understand that it changes a lot. It changes very fast. So it's kind of a given that whatever knowledge you've gained previously is going to get out of date pretty quickly unless you continue learning something else or you continue keeping up with the trends and platforms and the news. But there are other areas where it may not feel that way. So this is an invitation, and we'll speak about it in more detail in a moment. Invitation for you to have that fresh perspective on something where you feel like you have so much experience. I don't know, it doesn't have to be work, obviously. Like maybe you feel like you have a lot of experience with raising kids, for instance, because you've raised kids and it feels like you've been through everything possible, right? But now let's say it's about your niece or nephew, or about your neighbor's kid, somebody else, and you feel like you have all this expertise and experience, you know exactly what to do. But it's important to keep an open mind and maybe learn a thing or two, or be open to what the other important adults of this child are doing, is another example. Anyways, Aquarius. For your personal life and love life, you have 9 of Water, 3 of Fire, and the Magician. So you're setting some serious intention during this time. We just had new moon in Taurus happening on the 16th, and it was a very powerful time in understanding what kind of lifestyle do you want to create for yourself. Even if it's with someone else, if it's about love and life, love life, what are the specifics? It's going beyond that big picture, rainbows and unicorns. It's like, okay, we wake up tomorrow, what is going to be happening? Who is going to make breakfast? How are we going to divvy up the chores? How we're going to budget the next vacation we're taking? All these things that are like seemingly boring, it's like, oh, isn't that spoiling the magic? But also that's part of the 3D reality that we live in, and they need sorting out, right? And of course, there could be very exciting things that you are very excited about planning together, or getting that vision and intention. Maybe you're building a house of your dreams and you're like, yes, I can't wait, right? But it still takes some practical steps and some planning and buying materials, finding the right contractors, all that stuff. So this is the phase that you're in. You're creating a blueprint. You're getting all your tools and resources intact. Or if you're not doing it yourself, you're finding the right people for the job. If it's about relationships specifically, you're understanding, again, the blueprint of your life and the connection with another person. How do you see it? What are your values? What are your priorities here? But it needs to be not just something that you can tolerate. It's something that you can say, okay, I can clearly see that my dreams have come true, or maybe it's even beyond what I've dreamt for myself. It needs to be big. You need to, thinking big is quite natural for Aquarius anyway, but this is definitely stepping out of what feels realistic for the brain, considering all these cliche phrases like nobody's perfect and everybody has got issues and all this other stuff, right? Like you need to think big in terms of building harmonious environment for yourself, whether it's with a person, whether it's just maybe you're single and that's not even on the agenda right now and that's not your focus, that's fine. But what do you want to create in your life? What do you want to be able to do? Your daily routines, also what do you get excited about and joyful about? How do you build that into your life? And also, how do you create the actual environment, the place where you live? Where is it? What's the landscape? What's the climate? All of these things. And again, it is about creating vision and taking steps towards it. It's not just like, oh, I wish I lived in another country entirely. But you are like, it remains like that kind of wishful thinking. No, this is like, if you think that that's the best for you, take steps. And it doesn't mean move tomorrow, but it will mean at least maybe especially if you've never been there, take a trip over, plan that. And maybe do a little bit of research, go into the trip with some goals, with some intentions. Like, I want to check it out, and these are the things that are important to me. I want to see what it's like in that country, or what would my living there look like, or how much money do I need to make to feel comfortable, things like that. For your career space, you have the moon, the Queen of Air, and Queen of Fire. So Very interesting energies here because they're queens, which is ultimately the feminine energy, but the elements are masculine, air and fire. So it's like this interesting combination. You could be working, of course, with a woman that is very powerful, very strong-willed, and have a lot of charisma and presence and impact. But it's also about this kind of quintessential blend of masculine and feminine, that it's not one or the other. Even if it feels like that on the surface based on what you do for a living, this is a proof that it isn't just that. There are a lot of hidden layers there. And you need both the softness and the toughness. You need both the active and the passive mode. You need to be able to act and also to listen and to observe, right? And whoever these people are, or at least one person, they will show you how much is happening behind the scenes or behind closed doors of something that looks like that, like looks like very powerful, presentable, and impactful, right? But what does it actually mean day in, day out? Or what does it mean mentally for this person, for example, right? It's like, it is also learning, honestly. But it can be specific from one specific person, or it can be more from the domain, the area, and maybe even some public people. That's an option too. Public people who you're learning from, and you're understanding that what you thought of them before, you heard their stories, you've been to their workshops where they spoke more candidly about their journey, you had a very different vision of what it's like, right? And of course, with the full moon coming up, it's gonna present an opportunity to cleanse any kind of old patterns or belief systems that have worked for a while, or that you had based on somebody else's story or movie or mass media, right? And going into something more real, which is going to be both exciting and scary. But that's what the moon is doing, and it's important to honor all of those feelings and emotions. And then finally, Page of Air, Six of Air, and Page of Fire. Again, air and fire. But the pages, as I was saying at the beginning, are about not being set in your ways, but being open to learning new strategies, new skills, new habits, right? And there's always way to improve, right? But there's a good chance that the universe will even challenge you in areas where you thought that you had it covered, right? I remember one example comes to mind. I had that kind of opinion of my fitness routine back like in 2020, 2021. I was pretty happy with it. I knew that because I was doing a lot more dance, that I needed some adjustments and I needed to have different focus. But overall, I was pretty happy until I saw this girl doing biomechanical workshops and sessions, and it was so hard. Everything all the exercises she was giving us, and that was supposed to be for like mass audience, I could barely do them. Most of them were very hard for me, and I realized that yes, there is a lot to learn, and I need to like redefine my fitness routine completely, especially if I'm in dance. All right, last but not least, messages for Aquarius from their person of interest. What does Aquarius need to know? What is the message from their person? It's too many cards. All right, this is better. Knight of Wands, the Sun, and Three of Swords. Wow. So your person is saying they have a lot of passion for you, and it's interesting that this is actually a unicorn, so kind of a little bit on the nose. Haba. But yeah, their person is very passionate about you, very sexually attracted to you, find you very attractive that way. But also they want you to know that you're that sunshine in their life, that you're mean so much more than a sexual partner, or even somebody they go out in public, right? You're helping them reimagine their life. You're helping them become more enthusiastic about what's coming or what they want to achieve, believe in themselves, and also help heal the old wounds that they have from previous experiences. in love. Something where they already lost hope to find the person, or for others it's where they became disenchanted with a love relationship to a certain degree, because it's like there's always an agenda, or the other person ends up manipulating me when I open up my heart, something along those lines. And you're showing them in a very practical way that it's not always the case, you know? So bringing more of that happiness and joy into their life. It may be taking a little bit of time, but they are opening up, and their heart chakra is opening, is blossoming, and they understand that you have a lot to do with all that process. So they're very grateful about that, to say the least. Okay, I hope this was good for you, Aquarius. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like it, of course, subscribe to my channel, and until next time, bye.